Can we get a drum roll, please, on this? I'm going with... If you got a hunch, bet a bunch. Back a horse and get paid. Okay, folks, welcome to this edition of the Horse Racing Scoop podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about Kentucky Derby 148, the 148th running for the Roses. They're going to do it on May the 7th, 2022. We're super pumped about this. This is fantastic. We're going to be talking about what makes the Kentucky Derby so magical. We're going to be talking about some of the entrants, and then we may make a pick or two as we move forward. So come on and join in, and let's have a little bit of fun right here. One of the things we want to call attention to is our co-host here on Horse Racing Scoop podcast, because without her, I don't know that we could do this, because she's really the glue to the whole operation. My daughter, Danny Brewer, thank goodness she gets her smarts from her mama and gets her good looks too. But Danny, let's get this thing rolling. Come on, honey, let's go.
So when does a Tennessee turf rider start thinking about the world's most famous horse race?
Okay, so honestly, when do you start thinking about Kentucky Derby 148? The day after Kentucky Derby 147. I mean, the Kentucky Derby is the most magnificent sporting event in the whole world. It means so much to so many. This is a run at immortality. And why? What makes it so special? I think, first and foremost, the tradition. 147 consecutive years, the longest running sporting event in the United States, uninterrupted, longest one. COVID couldn't even stop it. We still had to run the Kentucky Derby. We ran it delayed, but we still ran it. And hats off to Churchill Downs for that. So I think tradition is the first and foremost. This thing has morphed into something really magical over the last 2 or 3 decades, especially. I think that the thing that makes it special is these horses have one chance at it. Now, the trainers and the owners and all that stuff, they can have multiple chances, but sometimes they only have one chance. But you have one chance at it. It's for 3-year-old males and females if they're good enough, but 3-year-olds. So you get one chance at running for the Kentucky Derby. The breeding, everybody wants to breed to a Kentucky Derby, and that's where the real money in the sport is, in the breeding. So win the Kentucky Derby, bam, you're set. I mean, like I said, it's not only is it a ticket to huge monetary values, but everyone knows the Kentucky Derby. The first question, if you go down the street and you ask Joe anybody or Jane anybody, say, hey, thoroughbred horse racing, name a race, I guarantee you probably 10 of 10 will say the Kentucky Derby. So that's it. Like I said, the Kentucky Derby is what's first and foremost on everyone's mind, and with good reason. Like I said, the magic, it's just wonderful. Like I said, you can never think you're bigger than the Kentucky Derby, because the Kentucky Derby is all-encompassing in many, many ways. So we always think about it. Like I said, we start thinking about the next Kentucky Derby the day after the existing Kentucky Derby. That's what we do. Awesome.
So we know that you have to be good to get to the Derby, but who are some of the runners that are drawing your attention?
Well, the Kentucky Derby, this is part of the magic, too. You've got 3-year-olds running at a distance they've never run before, 1.25 miles, running in a field that is larger than any race that they will run in their entire life. You usually have a 20-horse field. 20 of the last 23 Kentucky Derbies have had 20-horse fields. 20 horses. Whoa. You talk about, rolling thunder down the stretch, my goodness gracious. So it's really, really magical from that aspect too, and that makes it so good and so entertaining and so unpredictable. And that's another thing that makes it magical, is because you just don't know. Now, let's talk about some of them. Epicenter, he's the points leader. They have qualifying points to decide what 20 horses get to run there. So they'll run prep races. They have been all spring, and they've been running prep races to get points to get there. Epicenter, I think he's got 164 points. He's the leader. He won the Louisiana Derby, was his last race. He's just a nostril away from 5 straight wins. He's won 4 of his last 5. So he's somebody. Zandon, the Bluegrass Stakes winner. I saw him a few weeks ago at Keeneland in the Bluegrass Stakes. Wonderful horse. Come from off the pace. Really, really look good. White Abarrio. Talk about striking. I mean, you look at White Abarrio, you're like, whoa, what a beautiful, beautiful horse. Florida Derby winner. Cyberknife. Arkansas Derby winner. Brad Cox trained. Brad Cox is the top trainer in the country, period. Wins more races than anybody. Brad Cox is the man. Cyberknife, that's one of his horses. He may have another entrant too. But Cyberknife, Arkansas Derby winner. Messier, brilliantly fast. Messier, oh my goodness gracious. Now, he didn't win his last race, but he finished second in the Santa Anita Derby. But Messier is incredibly fast and can carry his speed very, very well. One of the interesting horses is Taba. He's been out twice. Okay, so we've got the least experienced horse in the field. He won the Santa Anita Derby. So you got Taba, but he's got the most experienced jockey, Mike Smith. This year, when Mike Smith climbs aboard and gets in those starting gates, it will be the 27th time he has climbed on a Kentucky Derby mount. That will be a record. He's tied right now with 26, but 27. So they got the most experienced jockey, but the least experienced horse. What's going to happen there? I talked to Mike. He really likes this horse. That's why he's riding it. He said, man, the potential is really, really there. We've got Mo Donegal, the Wood Memorial winner. Smile Happy, he run up in the Bluegrass Stakes, but won the Kentucky Jockey Club. It just goes on and on and on. I mean, we could go through all 20, and realistically, all 20 got a chance. And that's not an exaggeration, because in the Kentucky Derby, you just don't know. It's who gets the trip is one of the most important things. But hey, there's lots and lots to choose from here. It should be a wide open Derby, which means great news at the betting windows, because I think that the money will be spread pretty evenly. Epicenter likely will be the morning line favorite and probably the post time favorite, I'm going to guess. But you just never know. I think the money will be spread pretty evenly, and that means good news for the bettors.
We know the old saying, you can pick your friends and you can pick a tomato, but can you pick the winner of the Kentucky Derby? Who do you like?
Well, I think that's I picked a tomato or two, and I've picked a couple friends. I think they're still my friends. But can we get a drum roll, please, on this? I'm going with Mo Donegal. I like Mo Donegal for many, many reasons. A couple of the big reasons: Todd Pletcher trained. Todd Pletcher won 2 Kentucky Derbies, Super Saver in 2010. He won with Always Dreaming in 2017. Todd knows how to win this race, and it's important because, the Kentucky Derby is not any race. There's so much that goes into this. He knows how to do it. He's one of the top trainers in New York and also in Florida on the East Coast. Todd Pletcher wins a bunch. He's won lots and lots and lots of races, Hall of Fame trainer. So I really like it because Todd Pletcher knows what to do. Another thing that I like about him, his sire, Uncle Mo. Uncle Mo's a proven sire. It's sired a lot of winners. The biggest reason I like him is he runs fantastic late. He's a great late runner. And I think that in the Kentucky Derby, that is very, very important, especially in this Kentucky Derby, because we've got some front-end speed. They'll get out there and go. And, of course, I see them dueling people like Epicenter, Cyberknife. White Abario wants to be up there. Messier wants to be up there. They all want to be up there. So what's going to happen is hot early fractions, which is very common for the Kentucky Derby. You got a bunch of geeked up 3-year-olds, all the crowd, all that stuff. They're wanting to get out there and go. So I feel like we will have a hot early pace, and that will set it up well for Mo Donegal. In the Holy Bull, he started twice this year. The Holy Bull Stakes, he finished 3rd, but he was running the best late. He was closing late. He had a little traffic problems, but once he got going, he was really moving at the end. The Wood Memorial, which was his last race, he won the Wood Memorial. He ran a sub 24-second final quarter. So he ran the last quarter mile as fast as the leader ran the first quarter mile, which normally the opening quarter mile is the fastest of the whole race because they get out there and they go. So that tells you how well he ran late. And I've talked to Todd about him. He's really, really high on the horse. And that's one of those really super encouraging things when you have a great late runner. And Mo Donegal is a great late runner. Like I said, that last quarter mile in the Wood, very, very impressive when you turn it in like 23 4/5 seconds. And that was what the opening quarter mile was. So we like Mo Donegal for sure. Now, we enjoy the Superfecta. The Superfecta, as you know, is one of our favorite wagers. Why? Low risk, high yield. Okay. The Kentucky Derby offers bettors an opportunity to make lots of money because there's so many horses. The money is spread out so much. The Superfecta is one of those, everybody wants that. Well, hey, I want a ticket where I can wager a little bit and win a whole lot. How do I do that? Well, the Superfecta is your answer on the Kentucky Derby. What you're doing there is you're picking the top 4 horses. Now, on Derby Day, they usually won't let you do a 10 cent. It has to be $1. So that means it's a $24 bet. But you pick the top 4 finishers. You box it. That makes it $24. And it doesn't matter how they come in as long as you have those top 4 horses. The last 5 years, if you average the payout for the dollar superfecta, $33,615 on the dollar superfecta. So you give them $24, you pick those right 4 horses, you might get back 33 large. That's what I'm talking about. Now, that's the name of this game, back a horse and get paid, I'm telling you. So our superfecta, here's who we go. And this superfecta, if these horses come in that I like, it probably won't pay that much. It won't pay, 5 figures, but it could pay 4 figures for sure, depending on how the money's rolling at the end. But obviously we like Mo Donegal. Smile Happy. Smile Happy is another horse that Kenny McPeak trained. We really like Smile Happy. He's won at Churchill. Epicenter, I think Epicenter is one of the best horses. Obviously, like I said, four wins in the last 5 starts. And then Messier. I think Messier is quality. So I'm not really throwing some super big, large underdog in there. Maybe we need to, and we probably will, because you know how we go. We like to make, if we throw enough out there, maybe something will come back. But that's our superfecta. Mo Donegal, Smile Happy, Epicenter, and Messier. There's your Derby superfecta. There's some of those long shots that I like too that make them in there. Un Ojo, one-eyed horse. Hopefully he can see. He might see his way in there. Yeah, he's a one-eyed horse. He won the Rebel Stakes, so he might be one of those ones that could come in there. Barber Road is another. So anyway, like I said, there's all kinds. So I would encourage you to play the superfecta. All those folks at home who want to make a wager on the Kentucky Derby, play the superfecta, play that dollar superfecta, and don't be scared to throw somebody in there, because it can happen, and it does happen, obviously, with those kind of payouts. So the last thing we're going to talk about is the Oaks Derby Double. Kentucky Oaks, they run on Friday. That's for the fillies, the 3-year-old fillies. It doesn't get the same notoriety as the Kentucky Derby, but the Kentucky Oaks is one of the most fantastic races on earth as well. It's for the 3-year-old fillies. This year's edition is flat loaded. You got, so many good horses that are in there, where I think this will be the same way. It's a field of 14 usually. There will be spread out pretty evenly. A horse called Echo Zulu will probably be the favorite. She's unbeaten in her career. She's been magnificent. She's only raced one time this year. She won. But who we're going to go with is another Todd Pletcher trained horse. And this is the one we really love. Nest. Nest is she's our girl. I'm telling you what, we love Nest. So I think that Todd Pletcher could potentially pull off the Oaks Derby Double all by himself. That's what this hillbilly's saying. So we'll have Nest, a daughter of Curlin. We'll have Nest on Friday, and then we'll have Mo Donegal on Saturday. There's your Oaks Derby Double. And but the biggest thing about the Kentucky Derby is just enjoy it, because there's so many wonderful facets to horse racing. Just enjoy it. It's hey, and if you got a hunch, you bet a bunch, and then you back a horse and you get paid. So this is wonderful. So this is great. For weekly updates and the latest and greatest in news and views on the wonderful sport of thoroughbred horse racing, check out my blog at horseracing.scoop.com. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stay tuned in for the latest and greatest on horseracing.scoop.com. And remember, if you got a hunch, bet a bunch, back a horse and get paid. Horse Racing Scoop would like to thank our sponsors, the wonderful folks at Anderson Wealth Planning, Dr. Automotive, HorseRacing24.com, and Horse Races Now. You must be 21 or older and in Tennessee to place wagers. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789.